Hello and welcome to Official Exports 360 Magazine's OXM report. This week we had a chance to pop over to San Francisco to visit Visceral Games, creators of the supremely icky Dantes Inferno. Okay, so I'm here with Jonathan Knight, who's executive producer and game director for Dantes Inferno. Obviously there's some pretty twisted imagery in this game. Have you assembled a team that just didn't get enough hugs from their mum and dad when they were younger? I mean, how are these guys to work with?
Well, there's a lot of them are surprisingly normal. I think, some of the twisted stuff is, more like childhood fantasies waiting to get out. We have a lot of really talented concept artists. One that we were just talking about a minute ago is Wayne Barlow. He's the nicest guy you want to meet, perfectly, seemingly normal on the outside, and when he starts to draw, just the most twisted stuff comes out. So, but it's been cool. I mean, the game gives us a lot of creative freedom to push the boundaries and explore ideas like, sin and damnation and afterlife and sort of like what all that would look like. And it's pretty rewarding.
So you guys have just shown us the lust level. I'm probably going to have to censor quite a lot of the description, but obviously you've got a lot of and the crazy Cleopatra with he's coming out and all this strange stuff. Are you at all worried that you're going to be banned in some countries?
No, I mean there's a little bit of softening of the content that we're going to be doing for certain territories. I mean, we totally respect different cultural sensitivities, and we want the game to be available in as many countries as we can. So we're kind of looking at that for certain territories, what we might need to do to soften the material a little bit and scale back. And when you want to bite off topics like lust and gluttony and greed, you sort of need to go for it, because I think that's what the adult gaming audience is expecting. Is definitely not for kids, but for kind of the 18 and up crowd, I think there's an appetite for what would that really look like?
So obviously, barring that fairly awful Beowulf game, this is probably the first game based on a poem. I mean, what have you had to take out to make it work as a game? What have you added to help it function like that?
Well, that was the big challenge of the project. So. Dante Alighieri wrote this poem. He was very, very descriptive about, his map of hell, basically. And so if you buy a copy of the book and you open it up, no matter what edition you get, you'll always find that map on the inside cover or on the back cover. Somebody's attempt to sort of go, okay, well, here's Limbo, and there's the River Acheron, and then there's the 9 circles, and here's the waterfall and the cliff and the forest, and that impulse to kind of draw a map of hell based on his poem has been there for centuries. And so that gave us a great foundation. And so we've actually been pretty faithful and pretty meticulous about even to the point of I want him to turn left here because in the poem it says he turned left. And so if you know the poem, you'll recognize the locations and the settings, and the characters as well. So, Cerberus or Phlegyas, the boatman who takes Dante across the river Styx, or King Minos who judges the damned. All those characters are in the game, and we've, tweaked their sort of visual representation. We've brought fresh ideas to their designs, but they're always based on kind of the rough description in the poem of those characters. So I think there's a lot of ways in which we're actually being pretty faithful to the text, just giving it our kind of our own look. But at the same time, we've made some pretty big deviations. I wanted a game that was an action game that had a strong heroic story about a guy breaking into hell and fighting his way through. We wanted a lot of demon killing, basically, because that's what you would want to do in a video game set in hell. So we had to kind of craft a new story about why is this guy fighting? Why does he have to be a warrior? Why can't he just be a poet taking notes? Because that's just not that would make a fun game. So the story we wrote still involves Beatrice and Dante and Virgil and Lucifer and basically all the characters that are in the poem. We've just kind of amped it up and infused some plot points and some drama and some conflict.